Ironmouse can't catch a break. Dude, it's so unbelievable how they treat people. Sad. Pathetic! Ironmouse heartbroken after TwitchCon staff allegedly threw out gifts from VTuber fans. And she's not the only one, so if anything, they're not discriminating against anybody. They're just doing it because frick you.
Hey, what's up, guys? Ruff here. So TwitchCon 2025 might have concluded in San Diego 2 days ago, but the drama and controversy stemming from this event have not stopped. In fact, it's gotten a lot worse as people have shared their experience as a content creator at this event. We already know some of the controversies we've covered in the past couple of videos, but we have some new ones, more concerns about the incompetence of Twitch's CEO Dan Clancy and also the incompetence of his staff, particularly the security, and also people are expressing concerns about some experiences shared by VTubers, including Ironmouse, at this event, who, in my opinion, I think was, at the very least, let down by Twitch staff, or even worse.
Let down is a nice way of putting it. I'd be mauling.
Possibly taken advantage of and stolen from at this event. Now, we'll get into all that stuff in just a second, but you guys are all aware of the Emiru situation. She was assaulted live during a meet and greet, and that raised a lot of concerns about security and just really the competence of their staff, who allowed this person to simply walk out of the event after assaulting someone who's made the platform millions upon millions of dollars. But it appears that Twitch really doesn't want to have a lot of conversations about this because they are actively blocking people on social media through their official Twitter account, which is very bizarre behavior to say the least. But one of the VTubers who had an interesting experience at TwitchCon 2025 was Chibidoki, a very popular indie VTuber. We talked about this.
Not only did they take away her gifts from a fan and throw it in the garbage, they also lied.
Briefly the other day, but I'm bringing it up because we have a bit of a follow-up to this. So she shared two things. Number one, that her meet and greet came to a very sudden end, and she thought, oh, that was it. That was all the people who were coming up. But it turns out that the staff told people in the line that she was sick, even though she wasn't sick. Very weird. But she also shared something that has to do with security concerns, where she was forced to unmask herself and show her face in front of a crowd to verify that it is in fact her.
Couldn't pull her aside, couldn't pull her into a conference room, couldn't do anything to like protect their identity or anything. No, pull it out now!
At this convention, which is obviously a security concern for someone like many other VTubers who doesn't want to show their
assaulted is fucking stupid. I am old. Trying to kiss someone is just stupid for me, but not assault. I think you're not only old, but also retarded. What do you mean? Someone unconsensually walking up to kiss you? God damn, that's one of the most dumbest things I've ever read in my life. What?
Face to the public. And they put her at an unnecessary risk because they believed that was part of the verification process and they had to actually do that to verify it's her.
What the hell?
But that seems like a load of baloney, looking at some recent events here. So, the streamer Neon, this is a new clip, he convinced staff at TwitchCon that he was a completely different content creator, and even
he did this to, I believe it was Emmy as well during her meet and greet.
Took over his booth. And in case you're wondering, this is not some mistaken identity. The guy who he took the booth from is a black man. So, like, they look nothing alike. He just walked in and was like, yup, I'm that guy, give me my booth. And they just gave him the booth. So
wait, this chatter's actually fucking getting mad at me. Holy fuck, you're retarded. How weak do you want to get? Okay, I'm gonna explain it to you because you're probably not, you don't speak very good English. How about I walk over and grab your mom by the tit? Would that make you happy? Do you think your mom would be happy and say, oh, yeah, that's awesome. I'm not gonna, like, get upset over that or anything. That's what they did with Emmy. I'll dumb it down for you even more. How about I kick you in the nuts? Yeah, you don't think that's assault? Like, how fucking stupid are you? I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt that maybe you're just young and stupid.
They're making VTubers unmask themselves.
Nobody can do that.
But people like Neon are just walking up and taking other streamers' boots with absolutely no verification process. It's literally insane, the levels of incompetence.
The fact that they're showing evidence of this happening is really, really bad, and they should probably get sued for that. If I was Emmy, I would take this video as proof that they are incompetent.
But as I hinted at earlier, there's some more issues involving VTubers this time. It is Ironmouse. And Ironmouse is someone, it's like a pretty good litmus test of how things are. If you're mistreating Ironmouse, man, I have like no confidence in what you're doing. She is someone who already deals with her own health issues. And also, she's coming off a very rough couple of months. In case you don't know. Especially for the people who are not familiar with VTubers. She's one of the biggest VTubers in the world. And she was a part of a VTuber agency called VShojo. And back in the summer, she announced that she was leaving VShojo because part of a big subathon she did, she was doing a 50-50 split where 50% of the revenue was going to go to a charity of her choice, which is the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Turns out, VShojo never delivered the money. They were in control of her payouts on Twitch, and they never delivered the $500,000 that was supposed to go to charity. It never made its way. On top of that, they seem to have been also withholding some of her payments, which I would imagine is in the at least hundreds of thousands of dollars. So overall, I think it's very easy to say there might have been 7 figures she was never paid, whether it was for her charity or for her own revenue, which is obviously horrible. And VShojo very swiftly imploded. It was the quickest speed run of a VTuber agency you'll ever see. In 24 hours, the whole thing imploded. Everyone came out with their own stories saying, yeah, I didn't get paid either. Yep. We've been owed X, Y, and Z for months and months and months. And
there was even worse information coming out that they would actually get people's payments for sponsors, take that money, for example. I think it was with Yanners or Vebe. I can't remember which one. They would take that money and then pay someone else to placate them. It's like an actual scam. It's like, oh, I'll get you your money. Okay, just take this from this guy, and then we'll keep placating them and go in a cycle.
VShojo's just been incompetent. Scheme. It was a whole mess. But I say that because she is a guest, obviously doing virtual meet and greets at this event. She was also part of, I think, of a concert and some other stuff. She was very involved in TwitchCon 2025. And I say all these things about VShojo and everything going on with her because, like, obviously it's been a stressful couple of months. And, well, they're just adding on to it because apparently the staff at TwitchCon threw away gifts from her fans. Yup, they just hucked them in the trash.
They did that with Shibi, yup. And a couple of other people. I think it was K9 Kuro. Who else was it? There was a couple of other people. I just don't remember them. I think it happened to Shoto too.
You know, there's not just a monetary value to these gifts that people took time to give to her, but also people made her things. You know, they put a lot of thought and effort into giving her these gifts as a show of appreciation for who she is and all the things she does. And Twitch staff, they hucked it. They threw it in the trash. And here's her tweet talking about it. I deeply apologize to all the VTubers and the fans who had meet and greets at the VTuber booth this year. It breaks my heart to know staff threw out all the gifts. I should have known better than to trust them and taking care of everything ahead of time. I am so sorry, everyone. And you can see everyone saying, like, it's not your fault. It's absolutely not her fault. You shouldn't have to anticipate incompetence like this at an event where they should be taking care of you. And, you know, just, this is all hypothetical. I can't prove anything, but there have been cases in the past with situations like this at conventions, not just TwitchCon, but conventions generally, where
someone said it's because of what happened to Camilla when someone hit a tracker in her gift and went to her home. Even if you make that argument, Chibi said, or Chibi's fan allegedly said that the reason they said they throw it out is because of a fear of it being a bomb. Which in itself proves incompetency, because why the fuck would you throw away a bomb in the trash if you think it's gonna be a bomb? Like, hello?
the people attending it, the people doing meet and greets, the content creators participating, they have gifts go missing. Well, it's not just because they're getting thrown out, it's because people are taking them. The staff is taking them for themselves. I think that's a very real possibility. But either way, at the end of the day, she didn't get what she was supposed to receive from her fans. And to think that they either A, through incompetence, threw it out, threw all the gifts out, or the next option, which is
homeless guy the next morning. Oh, look at this trash.
Someone took these items. Either way, it's really, really bad. And you couldn't do it to a person that would anger more people, right? Like, of all the content creators you're going to screw over, you chose Ironmouse.
Oh, because they don't care. They don't know. They're so incompetent. Again, Emmy allegedly overheard after she got grabbed and kissed by the guy and assaulted. She says she heard them laughing and saying, like, I don't know what happened. I didn't see it happen. They don't care about streamers, no matter how popular you are.
Terrible decision.
Yeah, they were making jokes about it.
Whoever at the Twitch staff who was involved with this. But it gets worse. Yeah. Because she was not the only one this happened to. This also happened to Henya the Genius, who's also a former VShojo member, who also left very quickly and was owed things from the company as well in that gigantic disaster. But she also said this: unfortunately, due to miscommunication or misunderstanding, any gifts or presents given to my meet and greet were disposed by the venue staff. What are we doing? I mean, at this point, like, even this happening to one person is already very suspicious and really a really bad look. But happening twice, and I'm sure probably to other VTubers as well, this is crazy. This is such a terrible look for Twitch. And a lot of people are looking around and they're like, Dan Clancy, CEO, what are you doing? There have been a lot of people talking about this guy. In fact, there's a lot of tweets that are going viral right now asking for him to step down, listing out the many things that people are attributing to his quote-unquote legacy.
Even if you're a CEO and you can't know everything that's happening all the time, you should at least have the foresight or the understanding and awareness of most things. I think what's stacking up right now is that not only was he at a party when the Emmy thing happened, but then afterwards, he didn't address it. He went live during TwitchCon, and then as Emmy was doing the statement, it was literally happening as he was streaming, and then he turned it off and was like, oh, guys, I gotta go. There was like a meeting, and then he had to leave, right? It's like, it's the amount of no awareness is what's baffling to people.
Twitch as the head of the ship over there. But yeah, the lack of security and the incompetence of the Twitch staff at TwitchCon is just, it's inexcusable. And when you have situations like this play out, someone's got to be accountable. Someone's got to answer to everything going on. And Dan Clancy doesn't seem like he wants to handle much of anything. In fact, he spent most of TwitchCon hanging around, and as we'll look at in just a second, hanging around a lot of young women and partying and doing all these things, including wearing this weird Roblox chain. Like, brother, have you been watching the news? Like, Roblox is in like huge trouble. In fact, Today, there have been indictments issued for people who were abusing kids in that game. But you chose, of all the games, Roblox.
That's not good optics, that's for sure.
Is what you want to wrap around your neck.
That's not good. Again, no awareness, just like no care at whatsoever.
Okay, interesting choice. But people are bringing up other stuff about Dan Clancy. You can see this tweet from Tectone sharing a message from Dan Clancy's Facebook back in 2016. And as pointed out here by Tectone, it makes a lot of sense that Twitch banned President Donald Trump because he had this to say back in 2016. Alas, the shame of it is that since we are so polarized as a country in what we read in the media, many Trump supporters would never see an article like this. Alas, I wanted to say Trump is an idiot, but if we were only so lucky, he is so much worse and much more dangerous as an idiot. While he won't win, his vile mouth will further polarize what is already a polarized country, making it even harder to govern over the next 4 years.
Did he delete that post? That's not a good look, man.
So Dan Clancy's not only making it very clear he thinks the president is stupid and he probably doesn't have a lot of good things to say about people who voted for him, but he's also wrong. Not once,
he's a
but
Redditor.
twice, because Trump would win the 2016 election as well as the 2024 election. So, good call by Dan Clancy,
Yeah.
but it's divisive stuff like this that really is telling. And the fact that he also banned Donald Trump's Twitch account at the time, which I don't even know if he was using it, but still, it was a very petty move and clearly politically motivated.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more going on. Here's a clip.
Oh, this clip,
This guy, or this group of guys, were FaceTiming, and there was this girl, this young woman, and she was sitting next to Dan Clancy, who's probably 3 times her age. Now, of course, I'm not some Twitter freak who's going to be accusing him of things because there's a big age gap. These are legal aged women he's been hanging out with, not just at this TwitchCon, but for many years. But I point it out because 2 reasons. Number one, he's
Yeah, S-Friend debunked this. For those that don't know, I actually saw this on my page. Yeah, he debunked this. He said it was just a chick saying hi. Again, we can say that he's gooned out, and he even got community noted. However, I think it's weird the other things that he's done in the past. I think him just it looks bad out of context, but yeah, he's just hanging out with some chick.
a married man with kids. It's a bit weird to be hanging out with young women.
Again, I do think he's a cloud chaser. I think he's a giga cloud chaser.
All the time, who are 20 years old,
talking
when
to
you're
people.
around 70. I think that's weird. I'm not going to accuse you of anything, but it is strange, especially as a married man. But the thing that I really bring that up
He's
for
a big gooned out.
is the fact that all these fires
He's married? I didn't know that. That's very weird.
are going on at TwitchCon.
You're just a giga
And this is what he's doing. He's out partying with girls a third his age.
He just wants to feel young again.
It's just, it's very odd priorities.
Hold on, I gotta
And
look
it
something
gets
up.
even worse because these claims have been backed up by other people who were at the TwitchCon for 2025. And they were saying they spent a lot of time hanging out with young women and partying.
Told that she was
Skara, by the way, he's been streaming since 2014. I remember Skara playing League of Legends back then. Yeah, with what's his name? Not Darius. Good lord, Dyrus, that was it. He's one of the OG League streamers with Void Boy. Yeah, Team Dignitas, and then they moved to TSM or whatever. Yeah, I remember them. Super old streamer.
and that she couldn't see any more people, but she was completely fine. And then they also threw away the gifts the viewers got for her. And I was like, what the is going on? Yeah, I've heard this one was crazy. I heard Dan Clancy was out a lot of nights with young girls around him, which whatever, man. If that's your thing, that's your thing.
Yeah, if they're
But,
of
like,
age, who
it just
cares,
felt
right?
like so
It's still so unprofessional in my eyes.
this con felt so fucking weird, man. Whatever. Like I mean, last year I told myself I don't like TwitchCon, and so many people were like, "Why do you like TwitchCon?" And I'm like, "Well, how long do we have?" But even more problems end up popping up, and really, I think that this is going to be one of the last TwitchCons that people go to. The attendance this year was terrible,
And I'm right there with this guy. Like, I think we agree. Like, you do.
And again, this is hearsay, but still, a lot of people are saying it.
You, man.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. You're not breaking the law or anything, but it just seems like a little weird. But also, it's like your priorities are really screwed up. Like,
Do you know where Dan Clancy's priorities are? For those that know, you know what I'm talking about.
You want to explore clips?
That's very nice.
And now you have a clips feed. Okay? Suppose you want to check out the stories to see what you missed yesterday. You click there, and now you're in your stories feed. Okay?
Okay. That's very nice.
Yeah.
That's also
That's pretty nice. Chat.
that's very nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice. Okay, one more time.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
That's also
Yep, that's pretty nice. Yep. It's not like he's hanging out with underage women. It's just, he has some priorities.
TwitchCon 2025
Yeah.
had a lot of disasters.
Again, by the way, if there was an old woman CEO, like, what is he close? I think he's like 61 or 62. If a woman that was 61, 62, she's married, and then she like follows a bunch of like hot, muscled up, like oiled up men on Twitch, and then like hangs out with them, I would be like, bro, like, I know where your priorities lie. I don't think it's in Twitch. I think it's you wanting to hang out and feel young again. I would think it's absolutely weird as well. I would call you a cougar if anything.
It was a really bad experience for
Why are they oiled up? Because the women that do like ASMR, they always have like oiled up honkers and like whisper into the mic. Like, what are we talking about? I'm all for equality. Like, if you're gonna be gooned out, you gotta have the other side too.
a lot of people who did not
They oil
deserve
up their honkers.
anything that happened to them. They didn't deserve the incompetence of the Twitch staff, whether it was security or just generally. And the head of the ship, the guy who's supposed to be running everything and keeping things in control, he's out partying with 20-year-olds.
Yeah, it's weird.
What are we doing? Like,
weird.
man, you need to take some accountability.
And the fact that he can't like not hide it to some extent, like maybe not make it so obvious. I don't know. I just feel like if I had just make it, and again, he uses his clout to like talk to them, so I guess he needs to like have it out in the open so that people know it's Dan Clancy. That's why he does it. So
actually run this platform in this convention,
Yeah,
which
I
is
don't
now
know.
going down probably as the
Yeah, he doesn't wanna
worst
hide it, I
TwitchCon.
guess.
I heard the attendance wasn't good, and on top of that, you have all the controversies involving many different content creators who have made Twitch a lot of money. And don't undersell that, right? They should treat everyone well as a content creator on the
True.
platform, but especially when we're talking about some of these people like Emiru or Ironmouse, who have made Twitch millions and millions of dollars. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yep.
I mean, please. And this guy's going around just doing whatever he wants, like acting like a frat bro. It's weird. It's weird, and it's a mix-up of priorities. And I don't know if he realizes this, like, he's on the hot seat. Dan Clancy is in the hot seat. I think it's amazing he's still the CEO of Twitch, despite everything. The numbers going down across the platform steadily over the past year or two. Also, the fact that Twitch is still not profitable for its parent company, Amazon. still not? Like, they're making billions and they still can't turn a profit for Amazon.
Well, I mean, I'll run devil's advocate here. Many streaming platforms have talked about how breaking even is like really difficult with streaming. Yeah, like Kick has infinite amount of money because it's backed by, was it Rainbet or one of the gamble websites? They can afford to because they make so much money, right? Like they know they're losing. It's hard. I wouldn't say it's a complete incompetence, but I do think like it's just a hard thing. Oh, it's a stake, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's like all the same shit. It's hard to run a thing like that because it's expensive. Like everybody's running, like streaming all the time. It's just the overall logistics. But I don't think it's that difficult to at least try and break even.
It's crazy.
Because it's been years.
How is this guy still the CEO? It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. But that's really the updates for today. That is some more news coming.
Yeah, someone said at the end, he was like, what he does personally is his business, but he needs to go run this platform. Like, should be not just simping over cam girls all day because you got the golden ticket. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not trying to shame him in the sense, like, oh, you're not allowed to, like, you know, like women. Like, everybody's allowed to like women. It's your business. Like, I don't know. Maybe his wife doesn't mind. It's like, again, it's none of my business as an adult. But when bad things are happening, you need to look strong and professional. If you're just gonna like at least do your job right, you know.
Coming out of TwitchCon, I'm sure it's not the end of it. And if there's anything else significant, we will go over it in a future video. But for now, that's going to do this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, like, it's really not that bad. Again, if he just did his job right, I don't think this would be even remotely in the spotlight. People laughed at his clip of him scrolling through the cam girls.
Just yesterday.
But the reason why it was so embarrassing is because the streaming platform's falling apart. There's moderation biases. People are molding out. And then this guy's just like looking at cam girls. Like, it just makes you look terrible. It's terrible optics. Yeah, what about the men? Where are the men in all this?
Okay. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
That's also...
That's pretty nice. Oh, yeah. That's a good one.